Future shock is a sickness which comes from too much change in too short a time. It's the feeling that nothing is permanent anymore. It's the reaction to changes that happen so fast that we can't absorb them. It's the premature arrival of the future. And for those who are unprepared, its effects can be pretty devastating. What do we buy? Where do we go? What should we think? The make, the model, the price, the pitchman's plea. Buy now. Keep up with the latest. Don't fall behind. The pre-cooked, pre-packaged, plastic-wrapped, instant society. We're faced with so many choices, so many decisions. We have to make them so quickly. None of us can escape the pressures. That's what future shock is all about. Don't fall behind. Keep up with the latest. Buy now. Technology feeds on knowledge, and knowledge expands at a phenomenal rate. Throughout the world, more than 1,000 books are published every day. Over 30,000 a month, 365,000 a year. A chemistry professor recently stated that he couldn't pass today's examinations because at least 2/3 of the questions require knowledge that didn't even exist when he graduated from Oxford in the early 30s. This machine makes our lives move faster. Computers combine facts to make new knowledge at such high speed that we cannot absorb it. They affect not just the things we buy or the things we know. As old knowledge is replaced by new, and the pace of change accelerates, the young among us know of no other world. Today's little girl is learning a fundamental lesson. Man's relationship to things is increasingly temporary.
Miss, can I get a new doll?
You want to trade her in?
Yes.
Okay, I think we can give you $1 on that.
Okay.
Do you know which doll you want? She says, Mama. May I have 80 cents now, thank you.
Even friends don't last. An early lesson in disposability. Nothing is permanent anymore. The plugged-in, clipped-on, modular architecture of a society on the move. Every year, some 36 million Americans
moving on, but where are we going? Nomads without knowing what's ahead. This time, maybe this time. This time we'll find a place to settle down and find someone that we can call our own kind. Travelers to places never seen. The road is there. Will I find
freedom, the loss of a sense of belonging. On the coast of Spain, on a Danish beach, temporary encounters. Just as things and places flow through our lives at high speed, so do people. Long-term commitments are not expected. Involvements are compressed in time. Young people embrace new values in an atmosphere of instant intimacy. Everyone craves human. Future shock results from too much change in too short a time. Disposability of products and people. Thousands of people are alive today only because they carry inside them electronic devices, plastic parts, transplanted organs. On October 26, 1968, Carl Schaefer had 8 hours to live. A heart transplant extended his life, and he symbolizes the era of the disposable body. An artificial elbow. One more step toward an artificial man. Joints, bones, sockets, sometimes better than the original. Replacing inner bones as plastic surgery replaces the outer skin. All stepping stones toward the temporary person. Will the human race emerge in a range of brilliant colors? Given the choice, would we want to look alike or different? What is beautiful? What happens to race? We might one day duplicate man, his form, his body, his actions and reactions, carefully engineered for lifelike appearance. A diaphragm. A chest. A simulated breathing human being. This is Sim 1, developed for the training of anesthesiologists. It's a machine, a breathing, functioning, computerized patient. As the pace of technology accelerates, as the pieces are laid into place, the pattern seems clear. We might create an artificial man. As work proceeds on the brain, it may someday be possible to combine all the elements into a lifelike duplication of flesh and blood. The momentum is established, but the direction is up to us. Is there danger in the path we are taking? What happens to the definition of man? Who is he? What is he? Into a future-shocked world in which machines and science cause changes that shatter basic institutions like church, school, family. A world in which nothing endures, not even motherhood. Dr. Charles Epstein researches the birth process. Baby shopping. Imagine being able to program the IQ of a baby to preset its sex, color, height, and other characteristics. Babytoriums, genetic supermarkets of the future, changing the very structure of the family. A middle-class neighborhood in suburbia, USA. It could be anywhere. The symptoms of society's breakdown erupt on a worldwide scale. We are living through one of the greatest revolutions in history, the birth of a new civilization. Collective protests shatter the structure of the old. Changes bombard our minds and bodies. We become confused, helpless, unable to cope. We all live in turbulence, often silent, personal. The result is the same, stress. In 1969, it was reported that a doctor A NAFEC of the Soviet Academy of Science had predicted that the world would soon see a genetic equivalent of an arms race, that the world powers would soon develop genetic engineering capable of increasing the output of geniuses. Criticized for such an outlandish and horrifying speculation, he replied merely that the advance of science is and ought to be unstoppable. Not everyone, of course, would agree with that statement.
Escape from change in today's society becomes more and more impossible. Change is necessary, but change itself is out of control. That is the challenge posed by Future Shock, to look deeply and clearly into today's world, to understand the consequences that what we do today determines what tomorrow will be. Save them from future shock? Or are they destined to suffer the same illness that rocks today's society? The directions we choose have consequences not merely for us. The choices we make will determine the nature of their world. There is still time.